Akio Toyoda here. Thank you everyone very much for taking the time to be here today. The Century stands at the pinnacle, a car in a class of its own. I believe this car was born carrying Japan on its shoulders. Today, I would like to take a moment to share the Century story in my own words. It is not just about making automobiles. With Japanese ideas and skills, we must create an automobile industry for Japan. These were the words of Kiichiro Toyoda. In the 1930s, a time when Japan was seen as incapable of making cars. What Kiichiro set out to build was not a company called Toyota, but Japan's automobile industry itself. Together with others who shared his vision, Kiichiro embarked on this challenge. Then, in 1938, 1 year after Toyota was founded, another man joined the effort. Please watch this video. In 1938, Kenya Nakamura passes through the ticket gate of the Tokaido Line's Kariya station. In his hand was a letter from Kiichiro Toyoda. Nakamura had written to Kiichiro after reading his words in a company brochure. 3 days later, a reply arrived. I want to meet you. Kenya Nakamura would go on to join Toyota. However, as war raged, the dream of making passenger cars drifted further away. August 1945, end of the war. In November that year, just 3 months after the war's end, Kiichiro took action. I want to build a democratic, automotive industrial nation, contributing to Japan's peaceful rebuilding and to world culture. With this statement, he established the Automobile Association. Kiichiro believed that a thriving automobile industry and the mobility it provided were essential for Japan's post-war recovery and to bring stability to people's lives. He worked to unite all those involved in automobiles. Even as his health deteriorated, Kiichiro devoted himself to establishing the industry. Yet the strain only deepened as the Dodge Line recession plunged his business into a crisis. March 1952, Kiichiro Toyoda passes away before fulfilling his ambition. Carrying on Kiichiro's vision, Shoichiro Toyoda joined Toyota following his studies in automotive engineering. The following year, Kenya Nakamura became Toyota's first chief engineer. Eiji Toyoda, who appointed Nakamura, explained his choice as follows. Kenya firmly stood his ground against the engineering team, telling them, "If you say it can't be done, I'll build it myself." That's why I appointed him as chief engineer. The Crown, the Corona, Nakamura continued to bring new vehicles into the world. A year before the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, Nakamura and Shoichiro began developing the Century together.
What we need now is a car we can proudly show on the world stage. To be like no other, not to follow trends. Let's make a car that contributes to inspire all those who see it. The Century's development continued, cutting-edge technology with traditional Japanese skills, imbued with human spirit and essence. However, getting off the ground proved incredibly difficult. A Century team was hastily formed at the Higashi-Fuji plant, and for over a year, Nakamura and Shoichiro stayed in the bachelor's dormitory, working through sleepless nights. Nakamura continued to mentor Shoichiro as an engineer. For his part, Shoichiro looked back fondly on his time with Nakamura. Chief Engineer Kenya Nakamura will forever remain in my heart. I came to believe that if young engineers like myself were trained to embrace Nakamura's spirit, we could make a major contribution. With help from their team, the pair built the car from the ground up. The model's catalog opened with the following words: a new prestige vehicle showcasing Japanese capabilities to the world. 1967, the first generation Century is born.
The Century's development was overseen by Kenya Nakamura, Toyota's first chief engineer. To be like no other, this spirit guided Nakamura in every aspect of the Century, from its development to production and sales. That development began in 1963. It was 30 years after Toyota started making cars, and only 18 years after the war. How could Toyota, with no tradition or prestige, hope to create a world-class vehicle, the pinnacle of luxury cars? Such reactions were hardly a surprise. Despite that, Nakamura was not deterred. Tradition will naturally follow. Let's create a new kind of luxury car, unlike anything before. The Achilles heel of today's luxury cars is that nothing innovative can be done. Saying that, Nakamura boldly pursued fresh ideas and breakthrough technologies. At the same time, he adopted elements of Japanese culture and tradition, including Edo metal engraving on the phoenix emblem and Nishijin ori brocade for the seat fabric. To create something that was to be like no other, Nakamura focused on fusing cutting-edge technology with Japanese culture and tradition. From that original model, the Century became Shoichiro's beloved car for life, one he continued to ride in through the second and third generations. And to each new generation of engineers, he continued to offer suggestions for improvement, whether it was better straight line stability on the highway or making sure the car could handle a stiff crosswind. Day after day, he continued giving instructions for improvements from the back seat. Shoichiro only went to such lengths for the Century. Why was that? Why did Nakamura take on the challenge of developing the Century, a project many at the time called reckless? Please allow me to share my own interpretation from here. In their hearts, I believe, lay the same passion that Kiichiro poured into establishing the Automobile Association just 3 months after the war's end. This automobile association was the forerunner of the Automobile Business and Culture Association of Japan, which I currently serve as chairman. On forming this association, Kiichiro said, "I want to build a democratic automotive industrial nation, contributing to Japan's peaceful rebuilding and to world culture." These words have never left me. The mention of Japan's peaceful rebuilding reflects a spirit of contributing to society through industry, a desire to bring back the smiles and peaceful daily lives of the Japanese people, with the automobile industry as a driving force. Meanwhile, contributing to world culture means building a better society through mutual understanding and the exchange of cultures between different countries and peoples. What the people of Japan needed at that time, I believe, was a sense of pride in being Japanese. That is why Nakamura worked together with Shoichiro, the son of Kiichiro, and set out to make a car underpinned by Japanese tradition and skills, which they could proudly show on the world stage, a car that could contribute to world peace and cultural exchange. The pride of Japan. I believe the Century was created to fulfill that role. Today, more than 5 decades after the birth of that first century, where does Japan find itself? The Japan as #1 era is behind us, and we're now in what has come to be known as the lost 30 years. Japan as a nation seems to have lost some of its energy and dynamism. Along with their presence in the world, if Kiichiro and Nakamura could see Japan today, what would they say? I suspect they wouldn't say anything, and instead leap straight into action. When Nakamura saw the post-war media headline starting from zero, he said, "It's not zero. It's true that our facilities were destroyed and we had no materials or money. But we had the strength and skills that Japan has built up. That's why we were able to be rebuilt." He said that in anger. Today, Japan has an automotive industry that operates on a global scale. We possess the monozukuri skills that have sustained the nation, stunning nature that enchants people around the world, a rich food culture, and a spirit of hospitality. Today, we also have manga and animation, which have become synonymous with Japan. Likewise, in the areas of music and sports, young people continue to share Japan's charms with the world. I believe, now more than ever, we need the Century. Please watch this. In the past, there was a person who infused the spirit in one sheet of cloth, in a textile, and a century later, there was a person who infused that spirit into a car, and there was a person who honed and brushed up and sophisticated the car with technology, having history. But times change, but there are things that do not change. Being reborn through the ages. There is no end to monozukuri, no end to manufacturing. There probably is something that only Japan can create. Going along that one path with the only you, one of one.
Century. The name is set to represent the 100th anniversary of the Meiji era and the birth of Sakichi Toyota, the Toyota Group's founder. For me, it is about creating the next 100 years. And then there is the century's phoenix emblem. In Japanese mythology, the phoenix only appears when the world is at peace. Century is more than just the name of a car. It is a heartfelt desire for world peace and an endeavor to shape the next 100 years from Japan. That is what the century means to me. With Shoichiro's passing, I came to see this as my personal mission. Of course, I cannot do it on my own. Thankfully, at Toyota, we have many colleagues who carry on the spirit of Kenya Nakamura. Together, we have decided to launch the Century brand. One of one. Or as Nakamura put it, to be like no other. Century is not just another brand within Toyota Motor Corporation. We want to cultivate it as a brand that brings the spirit of Japan, the pride of Japan, out into the world. The next century begins with us.
Thank you. Creating the next century, next 100 years, century, brand of Japan. So literally century. And the scarlet color is really bright when you get close. So we're talking about century later. So you'll be 139 years. Oh, so you remember my age. Thank you. Okay, 149, your age will turn 149. So we'll have to be watching that. So this will be the end of the Toyota booths, Toyota brand booths, press conference presentations. But we're hearing some music, and as we talk here, you can see people's heads moving around there. Is someone coming out here? Well, I do believe, I heard that some people are coming out. So maybe there are people who don't know that they're coming back. Let's call them. Please come back to stage. So you might have thought that we've completed our presentations. Oh, it's a little different to what I've heard. Not the people that I expected. So we have President Sato, also Chief Branding Officer Simon Humphreys, and President Inoue from Daihatsu. Thank you for coming. And also Vice President Nakajima from TMC. So we have ended our press conference, but Koji-san, do we have something yet? Well, actually, I wanted to thank everyone for gathering here from very early in the morning. And I think there are people who have been on business trips for a long time just to come here. It's been 2 years since the last mobility show, and for us, Toyota Group, Daihatsu, Toyota, Daihatsu, Lexus, and Century, these 4 brands are what we want to introduce through the mobility show, and we've started that with our presentation. And we wanted to come up here to express our appreciation. I see, so that's why all the related people, including the president, is coming up on stage. There's more and more people coming to the stage now. And this stage has a limit to what it can carry, so we have only the people who can be here. Maybe Nakajima-san is taking maybe 1.8 people worth of the weight here, so we have to less that and have people stand on below the stage too. So everyone from Toyota Group, please come here. All the related people. And the streaming is still continuing. Miyazaki-san is here too. Why didn't you come together with Nakajima-san, Miyazaki-san? If you were here, so it seems like you were just suddenly called. I think it's very important that we all are here to express our appreciation. Like Chairman Toyoda said, oh, there's Akio-san back here. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you, Akio-san. So we were asked a question to President Sato, but can I ask the same question to you? So having all the people from the group and standing on stage expressing appreciation, I think it means a lot to you. So what did you want to say? Well, it's the first time we're using the South Hall because the former hall the hall that we usually use is under construction. And like President said, it was an opportunity for us actually to use it as a Toyota Group Pavilion. So it was a big opportunity for us. And now this year, we've been thinking very deeply about what we should be conveying, what kind of message we should send out from this Toyota Group Pavilion. And we've all worked together, the Toyota Group related parties, and now you see it in front of your eyes. So you might think that we're using too much time for the press briefing. Media people has to go around and rush around and run around the halls. Maybe a little inconvenient to you, but I think we were ahead of any TV broadcasting companies to give you an opportunity to introduce our products. And we appreciate this opportunity. For us, we wanted to show how serious we are in every single product that we are working on. And with all of these products, to individual consumers all around the world, we have this feeling of to you from Toyota brand, and Daihatsu does the funny things from Osaka, and then the elderly brother position will be Lexus, and we have the one-of-one pride of Japan like no other Century. So those are the 4 brands we introduced. I don't know how the aftertaste will be on your end, but it's the start of this Japan Mobility Show, and there's going to be a lot of visitors coming here. So I will be watching carefully what the reactions are, but I hope that you will be supporting us, not just Toyota, but all of the automobile industry. I think the pride of Japan is that we have the automobile industry, an established industry here in Japan, and I hope you will join us in feeling the same way, and to have everyone feel supportive of the car industry. This one teamness is very much important. It's very important for our next growth into the future. Thank you. So it was an improvised, you didn't script this, so I'm really impressed in your message. Thank you so much. And those who are watching on YouTube, we wanted to call out that we're waiting here for you to come to the pavilion. So let's do that here with everyone. So there's a camera on top of the cameraman there. So let's wave to that camera and send our message and call out to those viewers. So the viewers of the streaming on YouTube, please come here. We'll be waiting for you.